Shalom everyone. In this short video, we're going to answer the question: if God is actually one, why do we perceive so much separation and multiplicity within the creation? And if there's nothing besides God, how can there even be a creation in the first place? Because Ein od milvado, there's nothing besides God. In Jewish mysticism, we assume the existence of an eternal divine essence, which is the ultimate source of all creation, the first cause that existed at the beginning. The first cause contains the potential for the entire creation, which is the effect. A helpful analogy to grasp this idea is the Big Bang. The Big Bang was a singular point that contained the potential for the entire physical universe. If you go back 15 billion years, all the matter and energy that exists in the universe today was at one point concentrated in an infinitely dense point, known as a singularity. And then, when it came time to actualize all this potential, the singularity basically stretched or expanded itself, and here we are. We see all this difference and multiplicity, but really, it was once unified into a single point. That's what the unified field theory is for. It claims that everything in the world is connected in some way or another, because at one point, they physically were. Another example where we see this is in the creation of a child. The male sperm, or zera in Hebrew, which is the DNA, contains the potential for a fully grown human being. Look at the seed of an apple. An apple seed contains the potential for a massive tree, with roots, a trunk, branches, and it results in dozens and dozens of fruits, all from one tiny seed. So we see many examples within nature, this idea that the cause of something already contains the potential for the eventual manifestation of its effect. If we apply this logic to the entire creation, not just the creation of this physical world, but in Judaism we believe in higher dimensions, we are compelled to assume the existence of an ultimate creator that caused the creation of this world, but also all the upper worlds, shamayim v'ha'aretz. So when we say God is one, or everything is one, what we mean is that everything contained within the entire creation, which includes shamayim v'ha'aretz, the heavens and earth, has one common ancestor. And that common ancestor contains the blueprint, or the DNA, for the entire creation. Now we still didn't answer the question of how or why we perceive multiplicity and separation in this world. If in fact everything was at one point unified, then why do I see separations? If everything is one, then I shouldn't be seeing 2, or 3, or 4, or a billion different things. Let's go back to the analogy of the Big Bang. We already said that the singularity already contained the potential for this universe before it expanded. However, that's only the potential, not actual. It hasn't been cultivated or developed yet. So this singularity, or this seed, or this thought, or this sperm, needs to undergo a process to reveal its hidden potential. And if all the conditions are correct, the sperm becomes conceived. And there's no coincidence that the same word used for the creation of a child, conception, is also used when you come up with an idea, to conceive a thought, to conceive an idea. You give birth to a thought. You give form to an image in your mind about something you want. And that thought, as well, contains the potential for action, which is the effect. Every Shabbat we recite this in Lecha Dodi. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, which means last in deed is first in thought. Everything that a person does begins with a thought. Whether you're conscious of that thought depends on your level of self-awareness. But there's no such thing as an action that doesn't first begin with a mental ignition. So the end result of something is already contained within the original plan. Imagine an architect who wants to build a house. Before he does anything, he draws out a blueprint of how he wants the house to look. That's the first thought. Then he needs to hire construction workers and contractors, and eventually they begin building. At the end of the construction, you have your completed house. But it all started with a thought. So the saying means that the final result of everything you do is already there in your first thought. So when it comes time to construct the house, it has to undergo a process of development. The process bringing your thought into action takes time in order to really achieve the desired outcome. It's not an instantaneous thing. So the space in between the first thought and the end result is where there are degrees of freedom. There's lack there. And so too, when it comes to the creation of the world, the actual process of creation occurs over a period of stages and time and space. So, in summary, the idea is that everything is one in its essence, connected to a common creator. And the entire purpose of creation, from thought to manifestation, is part of a divine plan to reveal all the various qualities and attributes and names that are contained within this essence. The perceived multiplicity is simply the unfolding of that original potential. Everything that happens in this world is the latest act of creation. The lesson to take away from this understanding in your practical life is to recognize, despite the apparent multiplicity in the world, remember that there is an underlying unity. Embrace the diversity around you, appreciating the interconnectedness of all things. Acknowledge your power. Understand that you have the power to influence your life and the world around you. Your thoughts and actions can ripple out and impact others. Understanding this can deepen our appreciation for the unity and complexity of our world. Thanks for watching.